Hi everyone, it's Katrina. Did you know that Cleopatra lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza? Here are 50 random facts that will shock you. Bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. Botanically speaking, a berry is a fleshy fruit that develops from a single flower with one ovary. Bananas fit this definition perfectly, even though we don't usually think of them that way. Despite their name, strawberries, on the other hand, are what's called an aggregate accessory fruit. This means that they develop from a single flower with multiple ovaries. Scotland has 421 words related to snow. It shows how finely tuned the Scots language is to the nuances of snowy weather. Scottish people have a close relationship to the cold and wintry environment where snow is a significant part of life. Ketchup was sold as medicine in the 1830s. It was marketed as a cure for indigestion and other ailments such as diarrhea and jaundice. Some even claimed it could treat more serious conditions, though these claims were largely unfounded. Despite its questionable medicinal properties, ketchup's popularity as a condiment continued to grow throughout the 19th century. What about you? Are you a ketchup fan? Lake Baikal in Siberia holds a staggering 20% of the world's unfrozen fresh water. That's more than all of the North American Great Lakes combined. It is also the deepest and oldest freshwater lake in the world. Animals can be allergic to humans. Some pets can actually be allergic to human dander, the tiny flakes of dead skin cells that we are shedding without realizing it. When pets are exposed to dander, their immune systems may overreact, leading to allergic symptoms. These symptoms can manifest in various ways, including skin irritation, excessive scratching, hair loss, and respiratory issues like sneezing and coughing. If you notice these symptoms, be sure to get your pet checked out by a vet. It's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland. They are social beings and get lonely, so you need to have at least two, otherwise it's animal abuse. These animals require the company of their own kind to prevent loneliness and stress and depression. That's relatable. Contrary to popular belief, you do not actually swallow spiders in your sleep. The fact that we swallow 8 spiders a year in our sleep likely came from a 1993 magazine article about how readily people accept as fact information they read online, no matter how ridiculous it seems. The author gave the fake statistic about spiders as a crazy example, only to watch it quickly spread as fact across the internet. Butterflies taste with their feet. Butterflies don't use their mouths to taste, they use their little itty bitty feet. Butterflies can taste if something is edible by landing on it and then stepping on it. When a butterfly lands on a plant, it tastes the leaves to determine if it's a suitable place to lay its eggs. They can even detect chemicals. The world's largest living organism is a massive fungus in Oregon. The fungus grows underground in a network of thin filaments called mycelia. The fungus covers nearly 4 square miles, which is about the size of a small town, or the equivalent of 1,665 football fields. It's estimated to be between 2,400 and 8,650 years old. Your left lung is smaller than your right lung. The left lung is 10% smaller because of the space taken up by the heart. Your body has adapted to make room. Each lung is separated into lobes branching off the main bronchus. The right lung has 3 lobes, while the left has only 2 lobes. During World War II, Americans called hamburgers Liberty Steaks. This was because hamburger sounded a little too German. Also during World War II, sauerkraut was redubbed Liberty Cabbage. Delicious. At any given moment, there are 1,800 thunderstorms happening on Earth. Over the course of 1 year, this will amount to 16 million storms worldwide, a testament to the dynamic and powerful nature of our planet's atmosphere. Octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 of these hearts, known as branchial hearts, pump blood to the gills where it picks up oxygen. The 3rd heart, the systemic heart, is responsible for pumping oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. This complex circulatory system allows octopuses to maintain efficient oxygen delivery, especially in cold, oxygen-poor waters. The longest recorded flight of a chicken was 13 seconds and covered a distance of just over 300 feet. This impressive feat was achieved by a brave bird named Sheena, a barnyard bantam owned by Bill and Bob Knox. While most chickens can only manage a few seconds of flight, Sheena's record-breaking performance showcases the extraordinary potential of these feathered friends. See, they just have to believe in themselves. Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire. Can you believe that this institution of higher learning is older than this major civilization? Oxford's roots trace back to at least 1096. It is one of the oldest surviving universities in the world. This means that Oxford was already a thriving center of education and scholarship long before the rise of the Aztec civilization in the 14th century. German chocolate cake was invented in Texas. The German part of German chocolate cake comes from an American man, not the European country. It was named after Sam German, who in 1852 created the formula for a mild dark baking chocolate bar for Baker's Chocolate Company, which was subsequently named Baker's German Sweet Chocolate. So, if you are in Germany and order the chocolate cake, it might not be what you were expecting. Believe it or not, airplanes can actually fly through freezing clouds without turning into giant ice cubes. This is due to a phenomenon called supercooling, where water droplets remain liquid even at temperatures below freezing. However, if the conditions change, these supercooled droplets can quickly freeze, forming ice on the aircraft's wings and other surfaces. The average adult laughs somewhere between 15 and 20 times per day. Children laugh the most. Young children will sometimes laugh hundreds of times a day. While laughter is the best medicine, the older you get, the less you laugh. The first public cell phone call was made on April 3, 1973 by Martin Cooper, a Motorola engineer. And who did he call? His rival, Joel Engel of Bell Labs at AT&T. Can you imagine the satisfaction? He called him up while walking down the street in New York City just to say, "Hey, guess what? I'm calling you from a real cell phone, and I did it first." It rains diamonds on other planets. It's a truly extraordinary phenomenon. It can happen on planets like Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn. The immense pressure within their atmospheres, combined with the abundance of carbon, creates conditions perfect for the formation of diamonds. As carbon atoms are subjected to these extreme forces, they crystallize. These precious gemstones then fall through the planet's atmosphere, raining down diamonds. Pong marked the dawn of the gaming industry. Its iconic paddle and ball gameplay was the first truly commercially successful arcade video game, bringing gaming to the masses in 1972. The very first Pong machine broke down because it got too popular. When Atari first installed a prototype Pong machine in a California bar called Andy Capp's Tavern, it became so popular that the coin mechanism jammed with quarters. Have you ever played Pong? There were female gladiators in ancient Rome. Though less common than their male counterparts, they were known as gladiatrices and fought with similar weapons and armor. These women, often from lower social classes or even slaves, underwent rigorous training in gladiator schools to prepare for the brutality of the arena. We all know how that goes. While their participation was less frequent and sometimes seen as a novelty, their existence challenges our traditional understanding of gender roles in ancient Rome. The longest word in the English language is pneuma no ultra microscopa silico volcano coniosis. Let's try that one more time. Pneumono ultra microscopic silico volcanoconiosis. I think I got it. If not, you can read it right here. This is actually a lung disease caused by inhaling silica dust, usually from a volcano. The people who came up with the word made it the longest word on purpose. The disease is actually most commonly known as silicosis. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. Sloths can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes, which is longer than most dolphins. They do this by slowing their heart rate to a third of its normal rate, conserving energy and oxygen. No wonder they move so slowly. Earwax is actually a type of sweat. Earwax, also known as cerumen, is the sticky yellowish substance produced by glands in the outer ear canal. It's an important part of a healthy ear and helps protect the ear by trapping dust, bacteria, and other foreign objects that could damage the inside of your ear and your hearing. The king doesn't need a driving license. The King of the UK can drive on UK roads without a license. As monarch, he doesn't even need to pass a driving test or have a registration plate on his car. This is because driving licenses are issued in the name of the king or the queen, which means they don't need to issue one to themselves. That doesn't make sense. The same goes for passports, meaning King Charles III can leave the country without the same documentation as everyone else. These privileges aren't extended to the rest of the royals and only pass to the king upon the death of the late Queen Elizabeth II. Despite not having a license, the king is said to have a fleet of luxury vehicles, including vintage Rolls-Royces and Jaguars, of course. Competitive art used to be an Olympic sport. Between 1912 and 1948, the international sporting events awarded medals for music, painting, sculpture, and architecture. These artistic competitions were the brainchild of Pierre de Coubertin, the founder of the modern Olympic Games. He believed in honoring both athletic and artistic excellence. In 2014, there was a Tinder match in Antarctica. Two research scientists matched on the global dating app in the most remote part of the world. A man working at the United States Antarctic McMurdo Station and a woman camping about 45 minutes away by helicopter. Seems like it was meant to be, and it seems like they were probably bored. The world's oldest piece of chewing gum is over 9,000 years old. It was discovered in Finland and made from birch bark tar. I wonder what the flavor was like. There is a fruit that tastes like chocolate pudding. Can we get in on this? There is a fruit native to Central and South America called black sapote that apparently tastes like chocolate and sweet custard. I'll take 20 of them. Have you ever tried it? Is it true that it tastes like chocolate pudding? Let me know in the comments. Mickey and Minnie Mouse got married in real life. Well, the voiceover actors did. Russi Taylor, who was Minnie, and Wayne Allwyn, who was Mickey, tied the knot in 1991, a union that brought the beloved cartoon couple to life in a heartwarming way. Isn't that cute? Blue whales eat 500,000 calories in one mouthful. Those calories are more than 240 times the energy the whale uses to scoop those krill into its mouth. This incredible efficiency is what allows them to sustain their massive size. A public toilet seat is cleaner than a smartphone. Public toilets are cleaned regularly, and scientists have discovered there is more bacteria on the phone or the tablet that you might be holding in your hands right now. If this makes you feel queasy, remember to disinfect your phone. It's easy, just get a little alcohol wipe. The average person spends about 1/3 of their life sleeping. It might seem like a lot, but sleep is essential for humans. It's when our bodies and minds rest and repair themselves, consolidating memories and allowing our brains to process information and emotions. During sleep, our bodies also release hormones that promote growth and development. How many hours of sleep do you get a night? Queen Elizabeth II had a stand-in to make sure that the sun wouldn't get in her eyes. Ella Slack was a similar height to the late queen, so she would rehearse big events beforehand to make sure that everything would be comfortable. However, she wasn't allowed to sit on the throne, so she had to squat above it. The human eye blinks around 15 to 20 times per minute, or around 15,000 times a day. This constant blinking is good for you and helps to keep the eye healthy, ensuring optimal vision. How many times did I blink when I told you this? A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. Venus is a fascinating planet. Did you know it takes longer for Venus to rotate once on its axis than it does for it to orbit the sun? A single day on Venus is about 243 Earth days, while a year on Venus is around 225 Earth days. So, if you lived there, you'd have a birthday before the day was over. Some frogs can survive being frozen solid. Wood frogs, for example, can literally freeze during the winter with ice forming inside their bodies. When things warm up, they thaw out and hop away like nothing happened, thanks to special proteins that protect their cells from ice damage. Son Doong Cave in Vietnam is so large that it has its own weather system, including clouds and fog. This happens because sections of the cave ceiling have collapsed, creating massive openings that allow sunlight and rain to enter below. This creates a unique microclimate within the cave, complete with its own jungle and river inside. The Magnavox Odyssey, released in 1972, was the first ever video game console. It marked the beginning of a gaming revolution that would captivate millions of people worldwide. It predates even the Atari Pong. Cows have best friends. Cows are social animals with strong friendships. Studies have shown that cows have best friends and get stressed when they get separated from them. They enjoy spending time together and even form herds based on their friendships. The average person spends about 2 hours and 23 minutes per day on social media. How do you compare to this number? Do you think it's more or less? Is it healthy? I don't know. A jiffy is an actual unit of time. You've probably heard someone say, "I'll be back in a jiffy." It might not be popular to say now, but a jiffy is a real unit of time. In physics, it represents the time it takes light to travel 1 centimeter in a vacuum, which is approximately 33.3564 picoseconds. Before alarm clocks, there were knocker-uppers in England and Ireland. These were people whose job was to go around knocking on windows to wake people up in the morning. Armed with long poles or sticks, they would gently tap on windows, ensuring that their clients were awakened in time to begin their workday. Abraham Lincoln was also a licensed bartender. In 1833, the 16th president opened up a bar called Berry and Lincoln with his friend William F. Berry in New Salem, Illinois. This was eventually closed, though, when Berry, a raging alcoholic, consumed most of the shop's supply. In 19th century England, pineapples were a status symbol. They were so expensive that people would rent them for parties to impress their guests. You can look at it, but you can't eat it. The pineapple's rarity and delicate nature made it a centerpiece of lavish feasts, often displayed on ornate silver or ceramic stands. You had a pineapple, you were rich. The ancient Romans often used stale urine as a mouthwash. The main ingredient in urine is ammonia, which acts as a powerful cleaning agent. Urine became so in demand that Romans even imported urine from Portugal. Urine was also used as laundry detergent, for tanning hides, for fertilizer, and medicine. We've come a long way since then. African buffaloes make decisions by voting. Adult females indicate their preferred direction, and the herd follows the most popular choice. If the vote is close, the herd may temporarily split up. But this is an example of democracy in the animal kingdom I bet you didn't expect. Turns out Mary did have a little lamb. The nursery school rhyme was named after Mary Sawyer. She was an 11-year-old girl who lived in Boston and one day was followed to school by her pet lamb. In the late 1860s, she helped raise money for an old church by selling the wool from the lamb. The sun is 400 times larger than the moon, but also 400 times as far away, making both objects appear to be the same size in our sky. This cosmic coincidence allows for stunning total solar eclipses, where the moon completely blocks the sun's disk, revealing its ethereal corona. Have you seen the latest solar eclipse? The shortest war in history lasted only 38 minutes. It was between Britain and Zanzibar in 1896. When the Sultan of British-protected Zanzibar died and a new one took over without British approval in 1896, the Brits were not happy. Tensions escalated when Sultan Khalid bin Bargash refused to step down. But the British warships spent less than 40 minutes bombarding the palace before Khalid fled, marking the very quick end of the Anglo-Zanzibar War. Roman Emperor Caligula made one of his favorite horses a senator, because why not? The emperor loved his horse, named Incitatus, so much that he gave him a marble stall, an ivory manger, a jeweled collar, and even a house. Caligula also allegedly planned to make his trusty steed consul before his assassination. A neutron star is so dense that a teaspoon of it would weigh billions of tons on Earth. This incredible density is a result of the star's core collapsing under its own gravity, squeezing protons and electrons together to form neutrons. In fact, a neutron star is so dense that it's comparable to the density of an atomic nucleus. The Eiffel Tower grows 15 centimeters, or about 6 inches, taller during the summer. The Eiffel Tower is made of iron, and like most metals, iron expands when it gets hot. So, during the summer, when temperatures in Paris rise, the Eiffel Tower gets a little bit taller. Worms frozen in permafrost for up to 42,000 years came back to life. The nematodes were in a state of suspended animation called cryobiosis. Researchers carefully thawed the permafrost samples in a lab, and incredibly, the worms started moving and eating. Can you believe it? Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something new today, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up for more. See you next time. Bye!